welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Gaynor.
Here we are, just two of us at the moment. 10 most controversial documentaries ever made. I'm thinking the first one's about McDonald's. But
yeah.
It's or one of them's about McDonald's.
I
love controversial documentaries. There's one that's just come out over here about Bonnie Blue, which I want to watch.
Yeah, I do.
For obvious reasons, because it'd be interesting to see what who pops up in that documentary.
Did you see the thing the other day where Donald Trump was filmed putting all the people on the plane that were being sent back to the countries?
No.
And the music over it was the Jet 2 music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and people complaining.
I'm thinking probably it might have been AI, was it?
No, I don't think so.
I've not seen it.
No.
Anyway, let's get into this. 10 most controversial documentaries ever made.
I have to have 3 squares a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No excuses.
Mine.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most shocking, disturbing, or otherwise questionable documentaries ever released. Some spoilers to come.
To stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive.
Number 10. Capturing the Freedmans.
I would have been really, really proud of him if he had just stood up and said, Elaine, I'm not pleading guilty, we're going to trial. But that's not what happened.
This grim documentary, directed by Andrew Jarecki, follows Arnold Friedman and his son Jesse in their criminal trial. This duo, who taught computer classes to young children, were accused of sexual violence against them. Although the Friedmans pleaded guilty, they claimed they had done so under fear.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Profiling's got to kick in somewhere, right?
Fear of going to trial and getting harsher sentences, and that no crime had been done.
Arnold Friedman, how do you plead to this indictment? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
And Jesse Friedman, how do you plead to this indictment? Guilty
not
or
guilty.
not guilty?
Did they abuse anyone? Was this a case of moral panic run amok? Jarecki's even-handed impartiality received criticism, as well as the director's eventual belief in the pair's innocence.
You have to live with yourself. If you didn't do it, you don't plead guilty. I never understood it.
Plus, when the film was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature, some of Friedman's alleged victims protested. It is a riddling case, alright?
You know, without Daddy in this case, I can't see any reason why we shouldn't go to media with this.
Number 9. Jesus Camp.
Wow.
Just to believe in God is really hard because you don't see him, you don't really know him much.
Chilling and sinister, this documentary about a charismatic Christian summer camp is scarier than most horror films. The documentary follows children Levi, Rachel and Tori as they attend Kids on Fire, run by Becky Fisher and her ministry.
See, we're talking this week about how the devil uses tactics to destroy our lives.
Fisher is open about her attempts to indoctrinate children into conservative Christian beliefs, employing tactics used by Islamic fundamentalists. These include the denial of evolution, among other scientific theories, as well as hateful preaching against homosexuality and abortion.
So, do people like hearing you preach?
It seems everybody pays attention more, Kids is preaching.
Is it your content or is it because you're a kid?
The outrage and controversy over this camp following the documentary led to its shutting down. Sadly, questions about indoctrination being a form of abuse are still relevant.
God's just telling me that you're on his mind and he just wants to take you and he just wants to love on you and he has special plans for you.
Number 8. Nanook of...
Yeah, I always think about things like this when people talk about religion or God or anything like that. It's only like when people talk about Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy or the Easter Bunny and things like that, and you always think you're still lying to these. It doesn't matter what scale of bullshit you're talking. Yeah. The Easter Bunny doesn't exist, Santa Claus doesn't exist, and and all that kind of stuff. It's all imagination, it's all make believe.
Yeah.
And, it's. I'm not saying it's the same with religion. People believe in what they want to believe in. Kids love believing in Santa Claus because they think they get presents, or and it's a time when it's coming together and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just, at what levels do you sort of like stop?
Exactly. It's okay to have a faith, and if that makes your life easier, but to push it on other people.
Yeah. What levels do you stop at? Is what I'm saying.
The North. One of the first feature-length documentaries, Robert J. Flaherty's film proved contentious. Initially beginning as a travelogue, the resulting film focuses on the life and practices of an Inuit family led by the titular Nanook in the Canadian Arctic. Soon, however, accusations of fictionalizing, staged events, and even falsification arose. Nanook was actually named Alak, and his wife was actually Flaherty's wife. And although the Inuit had already begun using guns and other Western technology, Flaherty encouraged them to hunt traditionally for the purposes of the film. Despite its technical achievements, the controversy over Indigenous representation and misrepresentation continues on. Number 7. Blackfish.
We weren't told much about it, other than it was trainer error.
Directed by Gabriella Cowperthwaite, this film follows orca Tilikum and the plight of orcas at SeaWorld in general.
Dorsal collapse happens in less than 1% of wild killer whales. We know this. All of the captive males, 100%, have collapsed dorsal fins.
Captured and harassed by his fellow orcas, Tilikum developed patterns of aggression, even attacking and killing trainers. The documentary also captures harrowing footage of orcas being captured and taken away. SeaWorld was also scrutinised for its practices and claims, including that their orcas had a lifespan comparable to those in the wild.
And every other potentially embarrassing fact is twisted and turned and denied one way or another.
So in the wild they live less.
The theme park came out against the film, claiming inaccuracy, exaggeration, and even exploitation. I mean, who is exploiting whom? Valid expose or not, it is a film searing in its condemnation.
In the end, he basically just completely mutilated that poor girl.
Number 6. The BRITS.
Did he still have orcas and stuff at SeaWorld,
I think they do.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone's going to let us. I've never been to SeaWorld, so I don't know. It's not my thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got, we went to Thailand and no, I'm not going to ride on the elephants. I think animals should be free, and I've got the same opinion about going to SeaWorld and stuff like that.
Yeah, I get certain zoos why animals are in zoos and stuff like that to protect their the species sometimes. But it'd be SeaWorld and that when it's for fun and stuff. I'm just not. It's not for me. It's not my thing. I don't push it on other people and saying you shouldn't go because it's cruelty to animals or cruelty. That's not my thing. It's just I just don't like seeing it. It's so I just skip it, just swerve it. Yeah. But I just wondered if they still had orcas at SeaWorld.
I think they do.
And then when you try and fix them, it might be too late. And it's like, well, no matter what you do, good or bad, it's, things are going to happen.
Inspired by a 2003 article of the same theme, this grisly film follows jumpers off the Golden Gate Bridge, most of whom die in the process.
Yeah, just his whole body language, his whole energy was just a bit off. He was definitely nervous, and he had shuffling his shoulder, and I initially, picked up on that.
Director Eric Steele filmed the bridge for a full year, avoiding publicity to lessen the chances of notoriety jumps, and even interviewing one survivor. The film did save people from jumping when they could, with the trained film crew successfully preventing 6 jumps. Still, bridge officials accused Steele of lying to them about his project, with Steele defending himself, saying it would have been rejected if he had told the truth. After the documentary, there have been reports of an increase in jumping. Exposure is always a double-edged sword.
What makes a person be able to do that? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that.
Number 5. Titicut Follies. This Frederick Wiseman expose on mental health hospitals and institutions is undoubtedly a controversial one. Following inmates at Bridgewater State Hospital, the film captures horrific scenes of cruelty, including force-feeding, nudity, barren cells, and even bullying from members of staff.
You have any homosexual experiences? I guess you had. What was it?
Even before Wiseman's film was released, the Massachusetts state government tried to prevent its release, claiming the documentary violated the privacy and dignity of the inmates.
Now you're keeping me here a year and a half, and I keep saying the same story. I am being harmed.
Then in 1987, the families of 7 inmates sued both the hospital and the state for abuses. The film was allowed to be seen by healthcare professionals and finally released in 1992 to the public on TV. This one really touched a nerve. Number 4.
You imagine mental health institutions like in the 60s, 70s, what they went through.
Yeah.
it would be nothing like it is today.
Yeah, it's like children's homes as well.
Yeah,
like back then,
yeah,
I don't know anybody that was in a children's home that wasn't abused, not abused, but you know, physically or mentally.
Yeah, but that's just what they must have gone through. Must have been appalling.
Horrendous.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Supersize Me.
Double quarter pounder with cheese. More calories than anything. There it is. A little bit of heaven.
One of the most well-known documentaries of the early aughts is also one of the most contentious. The film follows director Morgan Spurlock in his experiment, eating only from McDonald's 3 times a day for 1 month.
An Egg McMuffin extra value meal. Every 8-year-old's dream right now that I'm getting ready to fulfill.
Spurlock captured his deteriorating health for that month in a dazzling expose on the fast food industry. What the documentary didn't disclose was the director's heavy drinking during its filming. Other people have attempted to replicate Spurlock's experiment with much less dramatic results, as in some even lost weight while on this diet.
Right now you're getting about almost 5,000 calories a day, the average being 4,986. I would love for you to take a multivitamin.
McDonald's doesn't sell multivitamins.
McDonald's retired the supersize option even while defending themselves against the director's claims. It is a mixed bag, but this documentary's influence cannot be denied.
You're sick. You're sick and you're making yourself sick, and you can make yourself unsick by stopping doing what you're doing.
That bloody doctor doesn't look too healthy.
No, but I seen a story yesterday of I think it was a Thai man who had just lived off alcohol for the past month, who passed away.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, what do you expect? He didn't eat anything, he just lived off alcohol. That was it, just drinking beer for a month, passed away. But that Supersize Me thing, I mean, some of them sizes were a bit out there, weren't they? I mean, they were there was no need for, like, French fries that size.
No, exactly.
Or even a drink.
Yeah.
You could have, like, a bath in that drink, you know what I mean? But if he's drinking, if he's chugging the beer as well, and like I don't know, as pounding the alcohol, in addition to that, that's going to have more probably worse effects than what the burgers are going to have.
Yeah, of course.
The act of killing. This film follows the Indonesian coup of 1965, which led to the killing of communists and others opposed to the new regime. Director Joshua Oppenheimer went to Medan to interview some of the participants in the slaughter, who either brag about the killings or deny it altogether.
Kita pakai, kita ambil, kita manfaatkan duitnya aja. Orangnya nggak kita kasih mati. Kalau yang nggak, sekalian nggak dihabisin aja. Orang dia mau enaknya saja.
He even asked 2 of them, Anwar Congo and Herman Koto, to reenact their killings. This searing insight into these murderers inevitably sparked criticism, specifically on indulging the killers' twisted perspectives.
Goni, kaki ditutup goni, yang satu kakinya gini.
Congo and Koto have come out to say the film was honest and true. This provocative take on these familiar crimes shows the psychology of killing.
Saya sadari bahwa saya mimpi jelek saya itu datangnya semata-mata dari pekerjaan saya.
Number 2, Fahrenheit 9/11.
The people were afraid, and they turned to their leader to protect them. But protect them from what?
Michael Moore had already generated massive criticism for the alleged inaccuracies in his documentary Bowling for Columbine, about the Columbine school shooting. But this award-winning film about the Bush presidency proved to be even more controversial, especially among conservative groups.
Bush's good friend, James Bath, was hired by the bin Laden family to manage their money in Texas and invest in businesses.
The documentary posited that the reasons for the US invasion of Iraq ultimately followed the logic of American oil interests rather than the tragedy of the 9/11 attacks. The documentary's claim that the Bush administration flew members of bin Laden's family out of the country was also contentious. Although many of its claims are largely tame today, its conclusions still have the power to unsettle.
A simple and quiet guy whose family just happened to have a business relationship with the family of George W. Bush.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
The bin Laden family were a very predominant construction company in Saudi Arabia. I've come across them many times in what I used to do. Don't know, they used to have heavy equipment which I used to lease from them, sort of thing. But it's I'm not sure. The association with certain things sometimes goes so far that you think. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen because I know I'm not that naive to know what goes on in the world, but sometimes people's association is so far removed that you're thinking, he's got the same name or whatever. It's nothing to do with his family. Bin Laden was disowned by his family for many years. You know.
Have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Triumph of the Will.
Sie waren uns der Garant des Sieges. Sie sind uns der Garant des Friedens.
No documentary, however inaccurate or grisly, can ever come close to this infamous one. This beautifully shot film is an ugly propaganda piece on the Nazi Party in Germany.
Not heard of this.
I've not.
Directed by Leni Riefenstahl, with Adolf Hitler himself as the unofficial producer, the film follows the Nazi Party Congress in Nuremberg in 1934. Needless to say, the film was criticised, mocked and lampooned almost from its inception.
Vor uns liegt Deutschland, in uns marschiert Deutschland und hinter uns kommt Deutschland.
Riefenstahl herself was a participant at the rally, although she claimed she didn't know about the Nazis' anti-Semitism. Apart from its obviously despicable politics, many just deem the documentary boring and unconvincing to anyone but a true believer. Still, its influence in filmmaking, with its use of now standard cinematic techniques, lives on.
Deutsche Jugend, nach einem Jahr kann ich euch hier wieder begrüßen.
So, which other documentary do you know was hugely controversial? Let us know in the comments down below.
They kind of make documentaries about anything nowadays anyway, sort of thing, whether it's controversial or not. Like I say, the Bonnie Blue one, I think, that's just come out this week, I think it's pretty controversial, I've heard.
Is she British?
I think she is, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure she's British, yeah. Yeah, it's if someone else wants to take ownership, let us know. You can have her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Literally. But
I'm wondering if there's people out there that don't know who she is.
I think pretty much most of the world know
if you don't
the
Google
story.
her.
Yeah, Google if you don't know who it is. Be careful when you Google.
Yeah.
Careful who's around you when you Google it. But it's I don't know. It's there's certain stuff you want to know about, and then there's certain stuff you just think.
Yeah.
What am I going to watch here? You know, is it going to educate me in a way that I need to know about certain things like that? But I think with like the Hitler one there, I have no interest in watching that.
No.
You know, the guy was a sicko and all that kind of stuff, and he's proved it over the years what he went through.
Yeah.
And but there's certain ones on there which is quite interesting. I've seen the Super Size Me one before.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen Columbine one as well.
Yeah, Bowling for Columbine. Yeah, and there was another one in there I've seen as well. I can't remember which one it was now. Or the Bridge. Seen the Bridge as well. Just wondered, is it still a thing? The jumpers off Golden Gate as well.
Because we had the same thing here, didn't we, in Bridgend?
Bridgend was a bit different. It wasn't jumpers. It was more suicidal things. But when they went through,
people seem to go there.
They went through quite a lot of like a season, if you want, of people ending their lives, sort of thing, which was a bit weird. It was all in one city or one town.
Yeah.
But some of them are very very out there. You know, that one in the Indonesian one, sort of, was pretty bad. I thought
the Christian.
Yeah, Christian ministry.
Church thing, yeah.
Yeah, some strange ones out there, some strange people. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Cheers.